moving on to, I had the Jackson Corey. I can't pronounce his last name. It's Bailu or Bayu. Sorry if I butchered it, which I know I probably did twice. But that guitar I ended up getting for a pretty good price. That was the USA model, not the X series. But I was pretty disappointed in, like the fretwork on it was just every fret end was not filed off. It felt like a razor blade, like especially when I got up to like the first 3 frets on the top, by the first string. And I remember that first string was catching the fret a lot of times, and it was so sharp it would have cut your finger open if you weren't careful. So really, really bad fretwork, very disappointed. Even there were some flaws on the finish too that I think are just unacceptable when you're buying a USA guitar with the kind of price tag that they come with. The guitar should not have left the factory the way it did. So I was disappointed, and I just, at that time, that's right when I got laid off from the job that I finally called back in that I've been working now, all the hours I've been doing, which is great. I need it. But I had to sell that guitar just to keep moving along, and I told the guy everything that was wrong with it, and he was fine with it. He still was willing to take it in, have it worked on and things like that. But I needed the money, so I parted ways with it. But it was other than that, it was a great sounding guitar. It played really well, nice thin neck on it, almost looked like a 6-string neck. It kind of felt like that too, which Jackson is very known for their shred necks that they have, their compound radius necks. And then this one right here that you guys all know, I got it right here. This is the only one that has strings that aren't broken right now. So this is my Jackson Soloist Tune-O-Matic. This one was it was either 2012 or 2013 that this model came out. It's got a super fast neck on it. I mean, that looks like an iPhone pretty much. Like, that's basically how it feels. You can just shred all day on this thing. And I almost sold this guitar because of those Line 6 amps that I have that just sound like complete trash for any kind of metal tones. You don't get what you're looking for out of them at all. They're clean tones. Some of their other channels aren't too bad. They're kind of tolerable, but the metal is just intolerable. Finally picked up a good amp, which is that Boss Katana. Got the 50-watt Katana amp, and that thing just really brought this guitar and all my other guitars right to life, and I couldn't be any happier. So still probably going to drop some upgraded pickups. I haven't done that in this guitar yet. It still has the standard, your stock passive HZ EMG pickups in it. But that guitar right there, for the money, just a killer metal guitar. Little small, but I mean, I can work with it. I just, so many years of playing Flying V's, like that's just what I know, what I go to, and that just feels the best when I play standing up or sitting down. Just so many years I've gotten used to them. So when I try to play on these just standard Strat guitars, it's a little bit more challenging for me. But just the way that thing sounds, I mean, it's got a bark and a bite to it, man. It just won't let go. It sounds fucking killer. So the other guitar that you guys see in every video, this is still like one of my favorite, I got this guitar for a really good price, and I'm glad I bought it too. I never really liked these guitars either until I saw Slayer for the first time in 2016. That's my BC Rich KKV. I got that guitar, yeah, it was right after that show actually when we went in 2016. Carrie was playing it, and I was front row. I was like second from the very front row right there, watching them just rock on this thing, and like, man, that is a really cool guitar. I think I gotta have one. So I started doing my typical Google searches, searching Reverb, searching eBay. I ended up coming across somebody on Reverb, and I bought it. Didn't come with a case, but I got the guitar for $450, and it only had like one little ding on it, and I love that guitar to death. It sounds amazing, plays amazing. All those BC Riches, except for like those, I've never really had a cheapo BC Rich. I don't know how those play or sound, but all the BC Riches that I've had, I always try to buy the neck through guitars or the set neck guitars, and all the ones that I've had are just awesome guitars. I love them, and they look like weapons. They're freaking sweet. I mean, what's not to like about them? They got good stuff in them. They got good parts, good components, if you know what you're looking for. So that guitar is still there, and that one's never going to go anywhere. And then you guys know my Washburn Solar V, the Ola England signature when he was still with Washburn. So I got that guitar. That one's got no strings on it either. Had to clip those off because I broke a string, and I'm going to reset it up. I had it in A standard, but it just wasn't taking it well. It didn't want to keep its intonation. It wasn't holding that low tuning well, and it just, yeah, it wasn't a good match with the tuning that I had it in. So I'm going to take it up to C sharp. I'm going to throw a set of 10 to 52s on there, like Dying Fetus. That's how they used to. I don't know if they still have a setup like that, but that's what I'm going to roll with, and rock that guitar out in C sharp. And then yeah, we're getting right down to the end finally. I don't even know how long this video is right now, but the Junior V Deluxe again. I picked another one up. You guys saw the unboxing of that, so I did pick that guitar up again. Those were becoming harder and harder to find. Just about all these BC Riches are just, everybody's holding on to their stuff. Don't know what they're gonna do after NAMM or, you know, the future. I really hope that they build the 7-string with the Beast headstock. I hope you guys build that guitar. Please do that. I will be so happy. So here, now we're on. I totally skipped. Yeah, I threw this. That's right. I forgot all about this guitar, and like I had this one for a very long time, and it's in a lot of my older videos. My Jackson Randy Rhoads 94. So that one had the Kerry King pickup set in it, and yeah, jammed that guitar out for a lot of years. Did a lot of recording with it and stuff like that. I left the Ibanez out. How did I do that? Okay, so I've had 23 guitars. I left out the cheapo Ibanez RG. What was it? The DX 320, 320DX. Yeah, I got that guitar from my buddy. He sold it to me for $100 because he wasn't playing guitar anymore. He said, yeah, I don't want to. I suck. I don't want to play one. You suck because you don't ever pick it up and try. You know, you got to go through these repetitions. You got to do the work. So, yeah, he just wanted to get rid of it, and I came by. He sold it to me with the gig bag, and I wasn't expecting shit out of this guitar. I plugged it in, and I went, holy crap, this little guy sounds pissed off. So yeah, I got a couple recordings on my channel that I did use that guitar, and I got maybe 2 or 3 videos, something like that. Not too many of them with that guitar, and I ended up selling it. I should have never sold it because that thing just, I mean, that piece of wood right there sounded amazing. I think guitars a lot of times are a lot like cymbals where you just got to try each one because you know, they each have their own little personality. They're just the way they sound, the way they resonate, all that stuff. But this guitar, just with the stock pickups, it, you know, had a crappy, just generic licensed Floyd Rose on it, but it sounded amazing. It crushed. It had that early 90s, like Scott Burns produced kind of thrash death kind of sounds to them. It sounded killer. It was a great guitar, and it played super awesome. So now we are on, like I was just talking about the JRR 94. We're on my final guitar that I'm not too happy. I have to have it worked on. I got a lot of cleaning I got to do. I ordered a cleaning kit from Amazon, and I got to take care of this thing. But let me show you guys. The damn guitar case is heavier than the guitar is. Yeah, so this unboxing video that I'll be doing on this will not be live yet until I don't know when, because I might make it into a couple part series, but yeah, just a lot of editing. But I'm disappointed. This thing needs to be cleaned up, but you guys won't be able to see just how dirty this thing is and was. But anyway, so this is a Moser. I've never had one, and I was looking for like 2 years for one of these. This is called the Bastard V, and it is a bastard. I mean, this looks like a saw blade, which is just killer looking. Yeah, at first, because I've only seen these guitars in pictures, but when you actually see it in person, it's pretty demonic looking. Especially, check this out. Yeah, headstock. Like you didn't think it could get any more evil looking than it does when you see that. It just looks like the freaking devil. That looks like Satan, and it's just so freaking cool. And I think I will rock it out very nicely. It's just got a plain rosewood fingerboard, and if you could see how dirty that fingerboard is. So yeah, this thing needs a lot of TLC, and I'm not, I had to pull the strings were just caked in just shit and crap, and just super corroded, and I think this seller must have left it out on a stand for a while or something. Not how I would have presented it to somebody if I was selling it to a potential buyer. I definitely would have cleaned the shit out of the guitar and made it a lot more presentable before I sold it. That's just me, because you know, I am a dick, but I am a nice guy at the same time, and I would have never, ever sold somebody something without cleaning the damn thing. But let's talk about the guitar some more. So yeah, neck through. I think it's made of basswood. There's not a lot of information on these things. They didn't make a lot of these, but this was the import. These were the import models for this guitar. And it's just got stock pickups. What did actually make me feel a little bit better, it did soften the blow from how upset I was, because this kind of shit is unacceptable to me. It just pisses me off. I checked in the case, and there happened to be a Duncan Jazz inside. So that kind of made me feel a little better. But no, this thing just needs a total blow job, total clean job, all that good stuff. Got a licensed Floyd on it. I think once I do what I want to do with it, I might just block this this bridge, just rock it like it's just fixed bridge. Yeah, it didn't have it's missing the hardware on there. That wasn't even in the description. But you know what? It's like you take the good in with the bad. It is what it is. I'm sure once I clean this up and properly set up and I'm almost considering maybe throwing an original Floyd. I got to see how it sounds first, but I mean, when you look at this thing, it just looks, I mean, that's as metal as it could freaking get for a Flying V guitar. And I had to have it. And actually, when you put it in your leg, you would think that it's gonna like just be ridiculously uncomfortable, and it feels really comfortable. And then as far as like the neck profile, it's a lot like my Kerry King, so it's very, very similar to like how a BC Rich neck feels. So it's gonna be a minute before I'm actually able to share with you guys like how this thing's gonna sound and things like that. But I mean, I didn't see any complaints from anybody when I was reading the reviews online and stuff, so I'm like, that definitely helps too. And I always wanted to pick one of these up and see how they played and sounded, because once I saw this guitar, I'm like, man, that thing I don't think I've ever seen a more metal looking guitar than this. And especially that headstock just like, you look at a Beast headstock and then you see that, you're just like, man, that thing just looks like you could skewer somebody with that. Like if somebody was to like break into my room right now, I'd just fuck you right in his neck. I just love that. It's just so awesome. You could probably even use this end to take somebody out. I don't know. It's just so cool. It's very cool. And I like that color too. I like how it kind of reminds me of Pat's Junior V icon when he was still with BC Rich. So I was like, man, that makes it even cooler. So yeah, I had to have that one, and I'm on a roll with this stuff since all the bodybuilding stuff, like the competing and all that, is over with. Move forward and get some of this music out. But I think that is about it. I don't think I missed anything. Let me just double check real quick. I mean, I could have missed one or two guitars. Oh my God, I did. I'm glad I looked. I totally skipped this guitar. So yeah, when I played in Gut Rod, I did also have a King V Dave Mustaine model. I picked that up from a guy. Those things go for a lot of money now. Everybody's holding on to those. But I got that guitar with the case for $900 back then, and it was in mint condition. Played that one for a good 3 years maybe, and that one sounded and played just like a USA, but it was made in Japan. Had a Kahler bridge on it. I had that one tuned to A standard. It took A standard. I was just talking to somebody in the comments section actually right before I put this camera on, just about how each guitar seems to have its own personality. And like with those higher end guitars, especially the USA Jacksons that I've had, they've always held the low tunings, and like like if I'm tuning down to A sharp or A standard, like a set of strings that'd be 12 to 56, or I used to do 14 to 58s. Always took them like a champ. Always held the intonation, held the tuning properly. Good string tension. Even when I would just beat the crap out of the Floyd Rose, because most of my guitars would always have a Floyd Rose, and I was always just beating the crap out of them because it was a lot of fun. It took it held intonation and all that kind of stuff really, really well, and I was able to get a really good low action with that kind of tuning also without a lot of buzz, which is surprising because of how hard I pick. You just get more buzz when you run into those kinds of problems when you're a hard picker like me, and yeah, you'll get a lot more fret buzzing, but it wouldn't come through the amp, and it wasn't even too bad even without the amp plugged in. So I got away with a lot. Get away with a lot with those USA guitars. They're great, you know, for the most part. So yeah, that was the one that I almost slipped by you guys, and I'm glad I caught this. So yeah, that is gonna wrap this video up. Be on the lookout for some more ripping riffs. I've been having a lot of fun with those kinds of videos, making those for you guys, and it just gives me that opportunity to just jam, because I just love to just grab a guitar, grab a chord, plug and play, you know, grip and rip, dude. That's what I like to do. So if you guys like this video, anything you want to add to this, leave a comment for me, share the video, do all that kind of stuff. All that helps this channel out and just keeps me moving forward with everything. And I appreciate everything that you guys have been doing with the help with you know, learning how to record and things like that, because I'm definitely stupid when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm trying to maintain my my cool with trying to learn all this kind of stuff, so finally get some professionally recorded music out there. Yeah, so I appreciate everything, like I said.